Hello again. I am going to talk about risks. The first being, I've come out to record this when it's definitely going to rain, so hopefully it doesn't. We have dates for the first event. It will be on the 8th and 9th of August 2026. There is a risk that comes with that. That's only 2 months away, meaning I have to finish the project within about 2 months. Well, definitely 2 months, but ideally before that. That's a lot of animation, a lot of setting up, a lot of promotion to do, but I want to do it in August for some reason. So I'm going to talk about a series of risks, and then I'll assess the risks. I'm not sure what to call that. Risk is nobody attends the actual event. So to avoid that, I'm going to be making these videos, asking the bands involved to post about the event, also the venue, and potentially anyone I come into contact with. Maybe I can ask people who are running by to talk about it with their friends. Balled it. Or maybe the cyclists. Balled it again. I'll also have posters and flyers in the venue itself, hopefully in other places if they let me put a poster up, with a handy QR code which takes you to the website, ledon.info. A risk for the equipment itself is it might be on for too long during the day and something might go wrong there. So I'll try to do a full run of it and see how it performs, if there's anything to look out for. Probably in my front room, taking up a lot of space. A risk with the structures is the bottom of them might not be too visible, but I'll be cornering off sections of the room anyway to prevent this. Also for projection reasons. Another risk is that the actual surfaces might not stay up or might get moved for some reason. So to get around that, I'm going to be marking out where everything is. So hopefully I can reposition things without too much of a disruption. Potential risk is the venue's going to be quite dark. So I'm thinking of having some ambient lighting around, not too bright. So corners of the room are visible, the exits are visible, and I will be cornering off where the projector actually is. So that will be clearly lit up or using reflective materials. It's starting to rain. It's raining. And this material is terrible for mics. So with rain, I suppose, but we'll continue. Walking down the River Tyne, which is nice, especially when it's not raining. Now I think about it, that might be a reason why people don't show up. That's a risk. It might be terrible weather. And living in the northeast of England, that's very, very possible. I suppose a plus point of it being in an indoors venue is it will be sheltered from rain. I mean, it's in August, let's be honest, it's probably going to snow. The risk might be that a band wants to pull out of the event, which is totally understandable. But I can either repurpose that animation or cut it out entirely. So I've just been to Laverne, something has popped by if I'm on this route. It's a little coffee hut within St. Peter's Basin. And they have quite an extensive menu for a little hut, but in a very nice location. It's next to this St. Peter's Basin. Here you see some lovely footage I filmed when it was sunny. Lots of little boats and mini ships. Another risk is that's quite a long day and I might get tired. And it would be great for someone to just watch over things for 10 to 15 minutes while I go for a break, go outside for a little bit. Now at a different part of the stretch of the Tyne, somewhere where long ago Freevolution Festival and then Evolution Festival was held when I was very young. It's quite interesting that it's now being used for, from what I gather, a carnival that comes here for about a month, once a year. As you can see, it used to be a car park, but it's all cornered off. Technically no one's allowed in it. Just seems a bit strange, but let's not get into that. I have been going to gigs since, I think about 2005. The way I worked that out, still got my very first t-shirt from my very first gig. This isn't it. This is Chickface. My very first gig was at the arena in Newcastle upon Tyne. And that band was Incubus. I suppose another risk is that there might be too many people who try to get into the venue. Not that I'm expecting that, but it is a risk. I'm going to try my best to count how many people are in at one time during the course of the day, just in case, because there are certain fire safety regulations in place. Another risk I've just thought of, I might get tired, so I'll have to make sure I'm looking after myself during the day, actually drinking and eating. It's quite a simple thing really, but I will forget. Another risk, people will be drinking throughout the day. Not necessarily alcohol, but I will have to make sure that the equipment is safe and try to assess any surfaces that drinks could be put on and potentially knocked over. And keep those surfaces out of the way of the equipment. Hopefully that'll sort itself out if I'm cornering off sections of the installation. You can see from here, bridge 1 and 2 of many on the Tyne. The next section's a bit of an impromptu walk around Ouseburn because I run out of ideas. But spliced in might be some risks. That's a risk, actually. I might run out of ideas for animations. So to get around that, I'll look for more inspiration online and around wherever animations are. So just going to head into Ouseburn, get another coffee. Some little businesses have popped up recently. There's a nice cream shop there. There's a pigeon. There's the Ouseburn, which rises and falls with the tide. There's the toffee factory. I don't know what they do there. Offices, I'm assuming. Ducks. There's Northern Rye, which is bakery. There's a James Bond car. Some new flats and things. Bottle works. Pop-up space. Projection would look good in there. That isn't a hint, by the way, although I might look into it. A bridge, some art. I've seen people looking for things down there. Not sure why you'd do that. Some boats, some industrial places. There's a practice room around here, I believe. Swans. There are some bottles you can follow. Time machine, 7 stories, and the Cluny. A bridge up to more of Ouseburn. Big bridge for cars. The metro in the background. And up there, some hidden steps that lead up to the Cumberland Arms. I should note that there is a way to get there without going up loads of steps. It's just coming in from the road that goes to the actual building. Not walking up those steps just yet. But just behind me is Cookhouse, Michelin star restaurant. Lemon, another bottle. Cluny Works. Cluny, little farm in the middle of Ouseburn. Someone big's playing at the Cluny tonight. The hug tree, the ship. I'm going to go around the back of the ship to deep north to get a coffee, potentially a donut, we'll see. I'm trying not to be too much like an influencer, but it's difficult when you enjoy the area that you live near and the coffee it provides. There's Stepney Bank with some other bars and businesses. That's where the Ouseburn market is, actually. 2 times a month. Pretty sure our influencers don't show you the struggle of getting up a hill when you're not very fit. I didn't stop for breath, stopped for a car. The orange wall means that you've arrived at Gingerino's. A great pizza place, about halfway up the bank of Stepney Bank. There are a couple of garages and a tap room. Donzoco tap room. If you want to sound like a Geordie, best word to say is Donzoco. The door, little buildings, which is a little venue. Then you've got the Tanner's Arms, which do really good food. Some more art along this long stretch, and the art keeps going. There's loads more to Ouseburn. I mean, this is just a bit of an accidental tour, to be honest. Places such as the Free Trade Inn, that has a lovely view of the Tyne. About 3 of the bridges. There's a lot of bridges. There's William. So if you do happen to come to the event, why not have a look around Ouseburn? Slipped down these once when it was very icy. Would not recommend it.